My name is Joshua Ncube and I'm a stand-up comedian, TED speaker, entrepreneur, but today I'm a celebrity chef. I love food. I love everything about food in Zimbabwe, Africa, and around the world. I live in Victoria Falls in a bus that I'm converting into a sustainable off-grid home. I love traditional Zimbabwean meals cooked on a fire. I just love the purity of all the elements, the ingredients, and respecting the fire. Food allows me to travel around the world, and today I'm showing you a celebration of a Zimbabwean dish with a lot of worldly elements. We are making sadza nyama nemuriwo with a worldly twist. So the first thing that we need to do is to prepare our steak. Now I've gotten a nice big 1 kg steak, which I'm actually going to cover up with a very unique seasoning. I'm going to use biltong, which is a dried meat, and I'm going to chop it up and mix it with some thyme and a couple of herbs, and I'll make sure that I've created a coating on my steak. Once the steak is coated, I need to make sure that my pan is hot. And then I'm going to put in some oil, and then I'll start the process of searing the steak. This involves actually putting the steak into the pan and making sure that it forms a beautiful crust that keeps the moisture in and prevents our meat from drying up. You need to make sure that you fry each and every side of the steak before putting it into the oven and baking it at 180 degrees until the steak is done to your specifications. In my case, I'm trying to do the steak so that it's medium rare. Okay, so while the steak is in the oven, what we're going to do is we're going to start working on our sadza. In this case, I'm going to be adding cheese to my sadza. I actually made my own cheese, which is basically very simple. Put some lemon juice into some warm milk and then allow the curds and the whey to separate. And then I just pass this through a cheesecloth to separate the liquid. And this is what I have, which is my cottage cheese. Okay, the process of making sadza is very simple. What we need to do is start with about a cup of mealie meal, which we're going to put into a pot, and put some cold water and mix it into a bit of a paste. We're going to have our water boiling, and once the water is boiled, we're going to pour that into the mealie meal mixture, making sure that it mixes very well on a very high heat. Once you bring that to the boil, what you're going to need to do is to cover it so that it continues to boil and the mealie meal incorporates really well with the water. When your mealie meal is now at a very thick porridge stage, what we're going to do is we're going to add our cheese. So in this case, I've added my own cottage cheese, and you can add any other cheese that you may want to make it even more cheesy. Other things that you can do is you can add some herbs in there. Thyme, rosemary are good examples of herbs that you can put into your sadza. Once the cheese is mixed in and incorporated well, what we're going to do is we're going to allow that to rest. We're not going to thicken our sadza anymore. It's actually going to mold and it will be ready to serve. And lastly, our vegetables. What we want to do is we want to grab our greens. You can use spinach, you can use cabbage, you can use, there's chomolia, there's kovo that are available in Zimbabwe. And what you need to do is just pan fry them. You can add cream, add nutmeg, which brings out some wonderful flavor in your spinach. Allow that to wilt, and then just set that on the side. And that's it. What we're going to do is we're going to take our sadza, put it into the plate, and we're going to put our steak, which we're going to cut up, and then finally add our vegetables, which we had wilted. This is Joshua Ncube. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope you guys have a nice time in the kitchen. Enjoy cooking African food. Enjoy introducing other parts of the world in it. Do it your way. This is Joshua Ncube signing out.